Okay, take 12. This has not been easy. Before I get into the subject of this video, if you like my content, and I'll be doing more of this, this is only part one because I'm not sure how far I can go emotionally or mentally. And please subscribe. And I need this to get out to people, so if you can share this with men, especially who've been victims, please do. For those of you who may be family or friends of the family, do not call my mother up telling me about this video. She already knows I'm doing it. She doesn't know what exactly I'm going to say, and she doesn't need to. It's too much for her at her age. Back in 1984, I was about to go to Bible college for my, and really believe I was a very strong, firm believing Christian, and was ready to go into ministry. I've been feeling that way for several years and through high school. I was 2 years out of high school when I applied for Bible college in Florida, and I got it. The name of the college will not be mentioned. I haven't had the permission to. I didn't ask. 1984, summertime, I went home to my hometown, home state. Used to go back there a lot, and most of my family passed away. My grandparents, on both sides. My aunts, and I have an aunt and uncle, or two uncles, and their wives who live up there, and a couple of cousins. I was staying at my grandmother's house, my grandparents' house on my father's side, and 2 doors down from my house was somebody who'd been part of our family for years. I think it was a mom, a dad, and a son. And the son and I used to go over there and see him. He was a comic book nut, so was I. Still am a comic book nut, for those who've seen my other videos. Went over to see her and asked where names have changed to protect the guilty. Where's David? And she said David's in prison for sexually molesting a 13-year-old boy. And I went, oh. So I went back to my grandparents, flew back to Florida. 2 weeks into college, the walls started breaking down in my head. And I started remembering things, bits and pieces, not much. And I realized that David had done the same thing to me, at the same age. I told a couple of my classmates at Trinity College, but that was it. I was afraid to, I was embarrassed to, even though I was 21 at the time. We had a counselor there, a student counselor there, who I knew from my high school days and the church I was going to then, and both at the time I was in high school, and then he turned out to be a gossip. Anything you told him within 2 days, the whole school knew it. He went to the same church I did, so the whole church knew it. We tried to file a complaint against him at the school, and the school ignored us. A lot of lives were ruined by that man. I got to the point where I was so full of hatred and anger, I took a solid wooden door into college and slammed it shut so hard I split it down the middle. Cracked straight down the middle. I started crashing, emotionally, mentally, spiritually. I started questioning my beliefs. I started questioning everything. The school tried to... I don't even remember the school really tried to find out what was going on. But in the end, I was told I need to leave the school. I failed out. I didn't care anymore. I went through a dark time at that point. It took me years to get out of. I didn't know at the time, because I don't think back in 1984 this was even a known thing. I had post-traumatic stress disorder from it. And every so often, if somebody grabbed me by the hand or touched me unexpectedly, I freaked out. About 4 or 5 years ago, and speeding forward, I may go back and do a little bit more on the other stuff, but this is just a overview. If you have any questions, please keep the language clean and nothing vulgar. And I will try to answer them in the comments below. I went back to college, same college, about 3 years ago. No, about 26 years ago, because I graduated 30 years to the year that I first started, was 1984, and then 2014. The college knew my past, about that and other things, didn't care. I used that in a couple of classes for information. I did not hide it. Had a great pastor at the time named Nick. That name is real. Who, no, actually it was Jay first. To help me walk through and get some of my memories back. I'm still not totally. My mind is still not complete on this. I still have PTSD. It still triggers once in a while. About 5 years ago, my aunt in my hometown calls me up and said, guess who I saw in the local nursing home? Small town, like one nursing home, maybe two. And I said, who? It was David. And I went, you're kidding me. He's still alive? And she goes, they amputated part of his leg to diabetes, and they don't expect him to live long. And I said something at the time that I was not ashamed of. I am somewhat now. I said, good. I hope he dies a slow and painful death. Yes, I know that's not very Christian, but at the time, I meant it. I mean, I used to fantasize about flying up to Ohio, how I could do it, get into town, take a gun, shoot him, and leave town again. I never did, it's obvious, but that's how much I hated that man. Yes, I made choices of my own that ruined my life, but he was the catalyst. I found out sometime after my memory started to come back that he had at least 2 other victims. One of them was my best friend growing up. And David attacked him after he did me. And for a long time, and I still feel this way at times, I feel guilty because I didn't stop him. I didn't remember what happened to me. I still have problems with that at times. I don't know why God put me through that, but I think one of the reasons I'm telling this story is I'm hoping to help other men. There aren't too many men out there talking about this, especially from the Christian standpoint. What made me decide to do this, I watched a little show on NBC called American Ninja Warrior. And one of the ninjas who's been on there since day one is a guy named Flip Rodriguez. And he came on the NBC on one of the one of the Ninja Warrior episodes and told about his past. He was also a survivor. Okay, this has started I'm starting to overload. That's it for now. A lot of the rest of the story is what I did, what happened to David. It's a neat story. It's a story of forgiveness. I never saw him again. I never went up there. I didn't see him while he was in his deathbed or anything, but the rest of the story is pretty good. I will talk to you guys later. I'm sorry if I stumbled a little bit in this. This is not the easiest video I've ever done. Okay, I'll talk to you guys later. Good morning.